Do you see
Yes,
the
yes, I
first
see.
page?
I
Okay.
see.
So I'm started. At first, I would like to speak about Hungary. A very short sentences. So Hungary is here. You see the borders maybe, and we have two main area. What is very good for Montagu's Harrier? These are plains. The Great Hungarian Plains is the eastern side, and a bit separated. There is a smaller plain, but is also a breeding place. Near to that two plains, there are some mountain regions. Okay, Hungary, the heart of Hungary is arable land, and from arable land, it is this is 50% is lowland, and grassland is much more lower, small amount, but is also very good number presented. And we have a lot of Natura 2000 site with grassland. It's a good chance. So uh, this is about distribution. There was a count. This wasn't a real count. I mean, it was two period where the the people work with Montagu's Harrier, and the first one is presented here. These are the nesting pairs or in pairs, and you can see the distribution that is in central Hungarian and more or less divided into two sides, the east and western parts. And Imre Patér, who is with us now, I think, he counted these. He made this data. He collect together. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So the previous picture was from the past. May I say the past? And there was a gap in the conservation works, and it starts again at 2030. We already do it, and we collect newer data, so you can see the differences in distribution. That the red one is the red dots are the new period from the new period. It looks like something is happening these areas. The birds, the nesting pairs are disappeared. So the last years in this place there wasn't any nesting activities. Somewhere like here there was something, and it looks like most of the pairs what they breed in active lowland, they disappear more rapidly, but all the habitats they increase decreasing the numbers. Some sentence about this. Yet all the time in the past and today the Montagu's Harrier is breeds in low numbers and patchy breeding populations separately, but most of our sure breeding sites are here. Prefers the natural vegetations, and that habitat what is unused for many years. Don't have so much habitats here in Hungary, but some is still remain. Yeah. So something about the population. So it's regularly breeder, but the first time, as Michal also said, that it was in the first, the 31, there was breeders, but in very low number. They know, I mean, maybe much more breeds, but only possible to find. In that time, that wasn't so much activity to protect Montagu's Harrier, so probably it wasn't that so much pairs. These are estimations, of course, and not the same method used. Okay, the second period is more active in conservation, and we have much more data, and on this they estimated a bit more, not a bit, much more breeders. There was a high peak of the population, as like in other European countries too, and this time was much more higher among the breeders of the cereal fields. So then there was a little gap on the work, and then now we start to count the bird and search Montagu's Harriers in the fields, but we only find very few pairs, and it fluctuated each year. It looks like surely below than 100 pairs. Yeah, it's around 60 pairs, fluctuated, depends on the wall gradation. Just a picture about the last years. You see, this was in 2014, there was a very large common wall gradation, and you see it goes higher a bit. Yes, in the end of the last 3 or 4 years, we start more active field work. This means searching nest, most of our, you will see later. So the numbers are, how can I say, it's not always the same technique we use. Okay, about breeding biology, there is a nest site selection slides. That is interesting. The most of the Montagu's Harrier in Hungary, they breed in natural vegetation. That is a typical picture from West Hungary in the Marcal Basin, Marcal Medence. You can see this patch, this lower land, this is sedge community together, and a bit far, you see this yellow colored vegetation. This is invasive species, this Solidago gigantea or canadensis sometimes. This is very beautiful places sometimes, but of course when the human disturbance starts, these invasive species come up. But it's interesting that because sometimes, not sometimes, in many cases, the Montagu's Harrier start to breed in this kind of vegetation. And one main problem is this moving. We're trying to fight somehow against the moving, but not easy. Yeah, it's an important information that in this kind of places where the vegetation is very long time the same, this kind of marsh patches, they breed very long times. We have data from very early time, and there's still presence there, and also in the Marcal Basin, the pairs breeds in the same spot because it's untouched and protected finally. So in natural vegetation, you can see this picture. Sometimes they breed in very dense, very tall vegetation like this. This is sedge communities, but over. So in the reed is very common in mixed with reed, and the reed sometimes it's grow more higher than the other plants, of course. but sometimes it's 2 meter high, and but there is a level of sedge level that is usually 1 meter below. Yeah. Yes, this kind of vegetation, this kind of habitat is mostly seasonal wetlands and sometimes just small patches in the agricultural land. And this is mares and marsh meadows and sedge communities, as I told you. Okay, this is another type of breeding site, breeding habitat in the natural vegetation. This is the Solidago gigantea. Sometimes it's covered all the patch, but sometimes it's mixed with reeds. And in this case, sedge are disappearing or not grown well and disappear and covered by this Solidago. So it's interesting because this is a problem for Montagu's Harriers because invasive species are not not welcome in the natural reservations. So they want to cut out. They want to try to disappear to all kind of vegetations, and also with the nests could be a problem. Yes, okay. Artificial depressions occasionally breeds. It's interesting that we found unused fish pond. There was growth vegetation like this, a sedge vegetation, and they breed together with marsh harriers. And there was another in the past. This was an abandoned peat extraction site that there was 40 pairs or 20 pairs, I think. This was really in the beginning of the time. So yes, intensively agricultural lands. This is the another type of habitat, but this is the less. I mean, this is the, may I say, the rest of the habitat types. We have few birds, these kind of places now. Of course, before there was much more, sorry, more breeders like this. This is winter wheat mostly. Sometimes it's sorry, I'm going to the English name now. But yeah. Some pictures about nest site selection. The one is presented from the earlier times, and there was a gap, of course, and now you can see the past years. This is not the I mean the counting wasn't the same with the same method, not even exactly the same places. So maybe it's not easy to how can I say, sorry, my English is also not that good. So, but you see that in the first time, the winter wheat, the plowland was much more higher, and then it's changed and dropped down. So as I see before with the distribution map, maybe this is attached to that picture. So breeding success. We have one study, Laura Godot made a count, and he realized that the wettest year was the best for Montagu's Harriers. They were the most successful breedings, and also, of course, the common wall was also a positive effect. So something about the success. As you see, the fenced, the more often protected lowland breeders are here also more successful. And natural vegetation, we usually not fencing around. We're trying to delay the harvest, and so that's why the pressure, the predator pressure, is much more higher. But important, we never directly searching the nest in this kind of natural habitat, natural vegetation. So probably we don't know so much about this kind of nests. But it's you can see the success of average of the nest is much lower than in the in the plonen. This is just an interesting picture because we try to look after, may I say, look after the, the Montagu Harrier only the last 2 years. Now we have much more possibilities to do, and the ringing procedure is just starts not many years ago. So we have few data, few informations now. There is a semi-colony with 2-3 pairs, and it looks like the site fidelity is very high, may I say. This is Tarka, a bird that is 8 years old, and 6 years he breeds breeds in the same habitat, exactly very small place, and also another male joined, and also he is 2 years ago started breeding in the same place. Both of them have the same female the last 2 years. This is interesting, I think. And about second calendar females, they breed successfully often, I think. Not so many, but regularly they are here and breed. And more often, not often we see in natural vegetation this kind of second calendar birds. Mostly seen out of more often see in agricultural lands. So as I see, we start now the research. May I say, we have much more better technical background now. There is one adult male what we tagged in this year. This is just a view what kind of how big territory he had. You can see the area with 50 kernel density, and the furthest flight was 24 plus. And maybe this the largest used placing. I mean, sorry, the anterior area was quite large, I think. But of course, we have to analyze it. This data. This is the winter. Sorry, we had to do it in winter time. So my colleague Arvoy Marci did these pictures about the female, the male, the tagged male catched the lizard, and he trying to find what was the place where he caught this lizard. What we see with this bird, it was interesting because sometimes he used very close habitats with many trees. That is interesting. We never think through that is possible. And now I got this very colorful, beautiful picture from him, from Marton. And I cannot go deep inside, but it's interesting how they change the habitats. with the time from arable land to natural land. It, it's important to know that this bird is living in a very protected area, so many protected grassland we have there, and there is so much possibility to chase this kind of habitats. So something about the problems. The natural one is, we think it's wild boar. It's a very important predator, but we don't have so much data, also so much activity to find what is happening with with the nest. But now we started to search more and more, so deep inside more in this topic. But we have now only just few data. So as we see, wild boars is often predating the nest, but many birds can fly away also in very near to near to wild boar places. One interesting thing is sickle falcon. This is a very well-studied bird, and they found 5 occasions when they eat the Montagu Harriers. We have a lot of avian predators. It's very good birding place. It's Hungary. So we have other problems that is like it is not good for Montagu's Harrier in these natural grasslands. So as we see in Poland, the natural grassland is a very good habitat to breed there. In Hungary also should be, but there is a problems. One is like it's a problem that Montagu's Harrier is not a priority species, so we have much more important, may I say, important birds like imperial eagles, sacred falcons, and Otis targa, and things like that. And the care with Montagu's Harrier is not, sorry, this is not, so they think they is not that important species, that's all. The another problem is that in the steppe vegetation, in the steppe habitat, is very important to prevent the afforestation, and that's why they push the mowing and grazing these kind of places where they breed, and this is our problem because it's a main destination that need to open more the landscape and remove the sedge vegetation, mostly sedge with reed, of course, and also the removing the invasive species. So another problem is the effect of environmental programs. Like it needs to use the habitat if the owner needs, if the owner wants to get the money, he have to work something. He have to moving the place, and if it's 1 year, there was a successful breeding pairs in a pet, they can come back to another years, because as we see, and what is the experience here, that they really stick. I mean, the Montagu's Harrier really attaching the the patches what is abandoned, not moved, not handling, not handled years, mostly 2 or 3 years. So about the activities, please tell me if I'm wrong with the time. Okay. So about the activities, we have few volunteers and some national park rangers also joining us and help to 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 save the nests. Our typical activity is finding the nest and show and signing the place what we have to to stay uncutted. This is not problem, usually not problem with the landowner, but sometimes it's not that useful. And the yeah, some project was started the last 5 years, and probably we will get more information about that. So we have some good things in conservation. One is the nest site fidelity. I think is a good thing here. But of course we have to reserve this kind of places. What is not so easy now, but I start to work to thinking how is it possible. So another possibility that there is some good habitat in governmental ownership, maybe. So the medium-term objectives is more reliable population estimation, and it would be a good to know what is the best management in natural habitats, how to reserve this kind of habitat, this kind of natural places. This is migration, but it's not that important now. I think we see that is a very big difference in observations in spring and autumn. So probably there is a lot of birds passing through through Hungary, and this is causing some difficulties to calculate the real number of the birds. These this is some stopovers here in Hungary. We think these birds from Poland, thanks to Dominic and also Karel. They come from Czech Republic also. So that's all. Thank you your attention, and if you have questions, please tell me.